All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're cracking open a piece of hardware that's really the heart of any serious video setup.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NTI SM-4X4-4K18GB-A-LC-V2. I know, that's a mouthful. But what it does is solve a huge problem getting perfect 4K video to multiple screens at once.
It's basically a traffic cop for an insane amount of data. Think of it this way. It's a 4x4 matrix switch.
So 4 inputs, 4 outputs.
Exactly. It lets you take up to 4 sources, say a gaming PC, a Blu-ray player, a satellite box, and send any of them to any combination of 4 different displays.
And the thing that jumps out immediately is the label, low cost. It's $585, but for what it's promising, how is that possible? Where are the compromises?
Well, they didn't compromise on the one thing that matters most.
Yeah.
Raw throughput.
The bandwidth.
The bandwidth. We're talking 18 gigas per second or 600 megahertz. That's the baseline that makes everything else work. It's how it supports Ultra HD 4K and, this is critical, the YUV 4.4.4 color space.
Okay, stop there. YUV 4.4.4. For those of us who aren't AV engineers, what does that actually mean for the image I see? Do I really need it?
That's a great question. If you're just, streaming a movie, maybe not. But if you're using a high-end gaming PC or looking at text on a screen like spreadsheets, it's absolutely non-negotiable.
Why?
It means you're getting uncompressed color, full fidelity. The moment you drop down to something like 4.2.0, you introduce compression, and you'll see this ugly color fringing around text and sharp lines. With 4.4.4, it's perfect.
So high performance, you also need high security. The sources say it's HDCP 2.2 compliant. What happens if, say, my TV isn't?
You get the worst failure mode possible.
Yeah.
A black screen.
Nothing.
Just nothing. HDCP 2.2 is like a digital handshake.
Yeah.
The source, the switch, and the display all have to agree on that copy protection. If one doesn't, the signal is just cut off. It's mandatory for any modern gear.
Okay, so beyond just the raw specs, the whole point of a matrix switch is flexibility, right? You can control this with front panel buttons, an IR remote, Ethernet, even RS-232.
And that RS-232 and Ethernet control is really the key to understanding that low-cost label.
How so?
Because while it's affordable as a standalone box, it's really designed to be plugged into a bigger automated system, smart home setup, for example. And that's where those professional control ports come in.
Got it. So we know how the video gets routed. But what about audio? What if I'm not just using my TV speakers? What about a sound bar or a dedicated stereo system?
Yep, they thought of that. While the audio normally just follows the video signal through the HDMI, this switch also has separate LR analog and SPDIF digital audio outputs for each source.
Oh, that's huge.
It's incredibly useful. It means you can de-embed the audio from, say, your Blu-ray player and send it to your high-end sound system while the video goes to a projector.
Okay, but this is where high-tech specs always seem to run into a wall. The physical reality of cables, all that data puts a huge strain on them.
This is the system's Achilles heel. That 20-foot passive cable limit for full 4K at 60 hertz.
Yeah.
It's a hard limit.
20 feet is not very far.
It's not. Think of it like trying to shout a really complex sentence across a big field. That 18 Gbps signal is so complex that after about 20 feet, it just starts to break down. The signal degrades.
So what's the fix? Active cables.
Active cables, exactly. They have tiny signal boosters or equalizers built right in. But, and this is the important part, there's often a trade-off.
Ah, of course.
Right. The sources show that to get up to, say, 100 feet, some of those active cables can't handle the full 18 gigs. They might drop down to 10.2 Gbps.
Which means you lose 60 frames per second.
You might only get 4K at 30 hertz. So you have to make a choice. Do you need the distance or do you need the absolute peak performance?
So at the end of the day, what's the verdict here? This switch is compact, it's powerful, it's versatile. That low-cost label really only makes sense in a professional or very serious home theater context.
Correct. It's not for a simple setup. It solves a complex problem, and it does it affordably compared to the alternatives.
So here's something to think about. This switch is part of a whole family of products that goes all the way up to a 32 by 32 matrix that costs thousands. When you're designing a system, how do you balance a high-end feature like 18 Gbps bandwidth against a very real physical limit, like that 20-foot cable rule? You might buy a low-cost switch, but if it forces you to buy expensive active cables, you're really just shifting the cost, aren't you? It's something to keep in mind.